We've got David Bonoy here to tell us a little bit about what the reaction has been to this shocking disclosure yesterday.
What is it? Is it shocking?
Well, it's shocking. I think it's.
I mean, there are lots of many
American
men over the age of 70 or 80 have prostate cancer. I mean,
That's
it's not
true,
that unusual.
But I think it's more that's Warren Buffett. You know, it's anything that has to do with him, possible succession, has people on edge.
Yeah, I think the word cancer in Warren Buffett in a sentence is certainly not comforting to a lot of people, though certainly it doesn't sound to be the most serious case right now.
Right. I think the survival rate on this type is 90-some-odd%. And also in a man his age, fortunately for him, it progresses so slowly that it shouldn't be too much of a threat. But this does bring up, let's turn this to a markets angle, which I know you want to jump to.
I think investors for quite a few years, and maybe it's being hastened or sped up by this, has to face the facts that Warren Buffett is 81 years old, or he's an elderly
smarter
gentleman.
than you at almost half his age.
Absolutely, but he's an elderly gentleman, and Berkshire Hathaway right now is much bigger than Warren Buffett. I mean, it's a huge entity right now. And Warren Buffett will not live. It's one of the biggest
companies in America.
Warren Buffett will not live forever. Right. And I mean, this just brings these issues to the fore, but don't put your head in the sand.
But so David, what does this do in terms of the questions about succession at Berkshire Hathaway, and where does that stand at the moment?
So we found out in February, in his annual letter, he kind of took an extra step than he normally has taken and said, there is one person. It's been identified. We know who it's going to be. That person doesn't know who it's going to be, and us, the public, don't know.
But there's three main contenders, right?
Yeah, Ajit Jain.
And the head of Burlington Northern, and one other Berkshire executive whose name is escaping all of us at the moment.
You got brother, you got the Burlington Northern guy. I was giving you credit for that one. I just had Ajit Jain in my mind. So there was David Sokol, but that didn't end too well.
Let's go to a statement from Warren Buffett right now saying, "My condition is not remotely life-threatening or even debilitating in any meaningful way." And I guess, David, so his expectation is that even as he undergoes radiation treatment this summer, that's not going to interrupt at all what he does.
I think all he said was it might hamper my ability to travel. So he might be staying in Omaha a little more than often. But but certainly, and it doesn't seem like this, at this stage right now, is going to even lead him to tell us or possibly tell the successor, that he is the next Warren Buffett, I guess.
But I guess this is going to be clearly the hot topic in 3 weeks when the Berkshire's annual meeting takes place in Omaha.
Yeah, certainly. It was already kind of looking to be a topic, as he gets older. Every year I think this comes up, but with him kind of making that extra disclosure, and people were talking about it a lot at the time as saying, this is more openness from Warren Buffett than we've had, even while it's not all that open.
Let's take a look at how the stock reacted after the news came out yesterday. So we saw a big drop there late in the afternoon.
It's not even that big a drop. It's a couple of percent. It's a couple of percent. Look,
it's big for them, though.
Here's the question, Evan, though. Do you think that which has been weighing more in Berkshire? The question of succession, or is it just that people are feeling it can't really grow the way it used to, given its size now?
I think that's the big. If you're a Berkshire Hathaway shareholder, and you're a long-term shareholder, then you have to be planning on the day when Warren Buffett is no longer the CEO of the company. I mean, that's just if you have a 10 or 20 year time horizon.
It's the reality.
Okay, that is the reality of the situation. So your key concern as an investor should be focused around, do they have the right investment portfolio? Is it too unwieldy at this stage to really make a meaningful business? Because it is a holding company in an age when these companies don't exist anymore.
Right. And going back to the question of, how much time does he or have just in terms of this to emphasize that this prostate cancer isn't a very serious form. David, I think on Deal Journal you had a list, if we can get that up on screen there, of notable people who've survived this. Michael Milken, Rudy Giuliani, Joe Torre.
We hear about all the time, older gentlemen being diagnosed, and all these guys are still going.
Look, I don't want to diminish the severity of prostate cancer, but it is very, very it is the most common cancer, I believe, in men over the age of 75 or something like that. It's not nothing's even close.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that we've gotten a lot better at detecting prostate cancer, that years ago people would live with prostate cancer for many years, not even aware that they had prostate cancer. So I don't want to take diminish again the severity of this or what it means for Warren Buffett, but I think if you're a Berkshire Hathaway investor, You should be focused on the key questions around Berkshire Hathaway as a large holding company and the issues around succession, whether or not Warren Buffett had prostate cancer.
Right. Okay. All right, David. Thanks very much for
guys.
that.